Hey YouTube, let me show you my next project. I went down to a flea market the other day and I bought a barber's knife. Yeah, that's sharp. Barber scissors and old-timey hair clippers. I took them all apart and restored them. Sharpened that and sharpened this. I will be making a little shadow box as a gift for my brother-in-law. He's a barber. Let's see how it comes out. Here's a quick preview what the project should look like. I'm looking to make a box, make a little trim, give it miter corners. The interior of it is going to be 12 inches by 9 inches, roughly. That's not set in stone. So I'm make it out of some prime plywood. It will be painted, so I'll have to just kind of add the difference to the plywood there, and we'll begin the cutting process here in a little bit. So here we go. We got the plywood. I've got some scrap pieces laying around the shop, not a full sheet. So what we'll do, we'll make sure our blade is just a little bit above the plywood, and then we're going to measure 3 inches because we want about 3 inches thick, and we're going to cut four pieces of 3 inches, and then we'll throw them in the miter saw and cut them to length. And we're looking for 3 inches. We'll do that and we'll see how it comes up. Here's all the pieces already cut. They're a little longer than what they need to be. I'll cut them all in the miter slot to fit whatever size I need. And I've got a piece of plexiglass, and this here, I haven't measured it, but the curve on my blade pretty close to it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut a little thin curve on each of these pieces to accept the plexiglass so I can put it all together when it's done. Let's see how that comes out. Okay, let me show you what I've done. I've lowered the blade. It's about, kind of hard to tell there, but about 1/4 of an inch. And what I do, I move the fence maybe about another 1/4 of an inch, and I'll pass the wood through there, and I'll cut a little groove here, and I'll do that in all pieces right now. Here's the groove cut up, and I've mocked up the plexiglass, make sure it fits, and it fits good. Now time to trim up. Here's the box. It's cut on all 4 miters. Got the barber tools inside of it mocked up. Time to work on the bottom. Alright, I've got some of this wooden floor, and I'm going to use that for the backboard for the box. And I just pushed it through the planer, took off this top. So it's just basically a cardboard backing. And I will join these together, and I'll be the back for it. Let's get to work. Here's the piece I'll cut through the, it's not cut to size, but to thickness on the planer. Make sure you wear hearing protection and a dust mask, because all that from there, and that's not good. Here's the box. I had to make 2 pieces there, and it's still a little thick, so I used the hand plane to shave off the edges a little bit, make it a little bit better. And now time to put the plexiglass, and then I will be cutting it in half. Let's get to work. So this is what I did. I've got the back panel piece. I glued up the little piece because I did it in 2 parts. And I'll take it to the plexiglass, and I'll put it up here, and I'll trace it. And what I'll do, I've got this little plexiglass cutting tool. I'll put a straight edge, and I'll score it a couple times, and I'll take it over the edge, and I'll crack, and I'll break it in half, and then I'll measure it, see if it fits. Here's the shadow box. Plexiglass in, frame made, and the backboard is there. There's the joint mark. Don't mind it all right now because I'm sanded down, and it's going to be painted, so you won't be able to tell it was joint. Now time to make the trim, and after that we'll start finishing it up. Piece that I selected to make my trim, there was a big old knot here, so I decided to cut it off before I started to do the flattening. There's a small piece left here, which if I need to, I can use it. This board has been drying. I just checked the moisture. It's just 10%. I'm sorry, not 10%, under 10%. It's a little bowed, so what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna try to flatten. I've went ahead and marked it out with a pencil. And a lot of times if it's really bad, like here, like right here, I'll take it to the table saw and I'll cut this off right here, and that way I don't lose a lot of wood, and that's what I'll probably do right now. I just ripped them on the table saw, and it's kind of hard to tell, but if you can see, it's pretty much flat now. It kind of bowed up probably because I had a knot, and it kind of twisted up a little bit. So now when I put it through the planer, I'll plane it a little bit. It won't be as much as before, and I can plane this and use this as well. There's a little bit of a knot here. I can cut that off, and it'll still be a usable piece. I've marked it all with a pencil, and it's going to get kind of loud, so I'll see you guys when it's done. Oh, don't forget your hearing aid. Yes, I said hearing aid, but you know what I mean. So here's the board. We got one side plain and one edge jointed, and you can kind of check with the square. You just put in the edge and just kind of go down with it. Also, if you have a straight edge, you can put it and check for the light, and you can figure that out. Let me show you the difference. This is the piece that I cut off from here, and you see how much wood I had to kind of take off just to level the side up. But it's still not smooth on both sides, so I will have to take it off. So you figure it would probably lose about another quarter of the board, so it won't be very thick when I'm done with it, but it'll be thick enough to make the trim around that. So let's back to work. We're here at the router table. I've cut a piece of oak, roughly about 1.5 inches, and I've got the bit here that I'm going to use to make the molding. I started already. I started right here in the corner, and I'm going to kind of work the bit up little by little until I get the whole shape. And then once I'm done with that, I will take it to the table saw, and I'm going to try to do a cove right here, and I've got that set up. I'll show you that in a minute. I got a piece of scrap plywood, and I clamped it to my table. I got one clamp here and a clamp there, and a clamp there to kind of stabilize it. And I screwed in a couple pieces of lumber here, and I just raised the bit just a little bit, so when I run the wood, it gives it a slight cove. And I've got it measured to the size of my wood. And I did a couple test pieces. Let me show you what they look like. There we go. It is actually not test pieces, it'll be the actual piece. It's kind of hard to tell on the angle, but if you look at it this way, the cove is there. It's not a very big cove, but it's enough to kind of just give a little bit more definition to the molding. Now let's get back to work. I might need a new blade because the cove came kind of rough, but there you go. Here's the little bit cut there, the cove, and the little chamfer there. I've got 2 pieces done, so I'll just be doing some sanding. And now what I will do, I'm going to try to see if I can cut a little groove here, just so that way it can kind of sit into we'll sit here to this plywood just to kind of snap in a little bit, and that will keep it firm on there, and it will allow the oak piece to kind of overlap in this little piece here. I may do it on the table saw or on the router. I'm still debating. I'll do a couple test pieces and see how they go, and we'll show you the results.